Please come in.
Good afternoon, sirs. Good afternoon. May I sit?
Please have a seat. What is your educational background?
Sir, I have completed my mechanical engineering. I have done BTech in mechanical engineering from DAV Institute of Engineering and Technology.
And presently you are working somewhere?
Yes, sir. I am working as a food inspector in Government of Punjab.
Government of Punjab.
Yes, sir.
You belong to Himachal?
Yes, sir. I belong to District Kangra.
Right. Do you have any idea? There are two important rail networks in Himachal.
Yes, sir.
Which are those?
First one is Pathankot to Jogendrinagar and second is Shimla Kalka.
Which one is longer?
I guess Pathankot to Jogendrinagar is long.
That is around 114.
Yes, sir.
That is 96. You have some idea of Indian Constitution also?
Yes, sir.
What is the difference between ordinary bill and money bill?
So ordinary bill, it can be presented in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, but money bill is presented in Lok Sabha only, and money bill has to be endorsed by the speaker before its presentation in the parliament.
Why it is called money bill?
Because there are some provisions with respect to Article 110.
It involves money.
Yes, it involves money. That the provisions are related to tax and money that is being spent or expenditure that is being incurred by the government of India.
And Supreme Court recently, while interpreting Aadhaar,
Yes, sir.
termed GST as money bill.
Yes, sir.
That was the government contention, and it was termed as
Money bill.
money bill. In case there is a deadlock between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha over money bill, how it will be resolved?
So Rajya Sabha has 14 days to take a decision on that,
Right.
and then it will, if there are some amendments to that, they, although they cannot do the amendments, they can give suggestions for the improvement in that particular money bill. It will go back to Lok Sabha, and it will be again passed by Lok Sabha. It will get passed. If they don't take action for 14 days, within 14 days, it will automatically get passed.
It will
and it
presume
will
to
go
be passed.
Yes, it will go to President accent.
And then if there is a deadlock on some ordinary bill between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, how that will be resolved?
So if there is a deadlock, then there is a provision of joint sitting that will be chaired by the speaker.
Right. What are the chances? Who has the upper hand?
So in case of joint sitting, mostly at present scenario, there are chances the bill will get passed because the strength of Lok Sabha members is more.
That outnumbers their.
Rajya Sabha counterpart.
Which is the lower house and which is the upper house?
Lower house, Lok Sabha is the lower house, and Rajya Sabha is the upper house.
Why it is called lower house?
So it is because it's called lower house, house of people. The MPs that are elected by the people, they become part of that lower house. And upper house, because in that there are some nominated members, there are some eminent personalities that cannot contest the elections, and they are sent through the nomination by president to the upper house.
All are not nominated. Some are selected by the states.
Yes,
Some are nominated.
nominated.
Do you have some idea? There is one lower house, upper house in the world that is also elected one.
In our
Most of the upper houses in the world,
yes, sir.
they are not directly elected.
Yes, sir.
But there is one lower house in the world that is directly elected, and that is called the most powerful upper house of the world. That is American Senate. American Senate. It has 100 members. Two each is elected from 50 states, and it is the most powerful upper chamber in the world.
Yes.
What is this RERA? Real Estate Regulation Act 2016.
I'm not able to recall that.
You should know it. It is very important. It has resolved many issues, delay in delivery, higher cost. So between the builder and the consumer,
Okay, sir.
it has resolved. What is Aadhaar?
Aadhaar is a 12-digit number, that is the unique identification number that is provided by the UIDIA of Authority of India, and it mainly concerns the giving the identity to the Indian citizens, so that they can be registered for particular schemes. Its main purpose was to reduce the leakages from the whatever the schemes government has provided, and on the other hand move forward towards the digital India and implement the various schemes like direct benefit transfer. It will also help in that regard also.
That's right. What is the Citizenship Act? That is in a lot of controversy these days.
So the thing which is in controversy, that is a bill that is proposed by the government, and it proposes to provide the citizenship to the minorities that are basically belongs to three countries, that is Bangladesh, Pakistan and Afghanistan, except Islam, members from Islam community.
No Islam.
No
Hindus.
Islam.
Hindu migrants.
Hindu migrants.
Some date is also there before.
For citizenship bill, sir?
No, the migration date. Those who migrated before
After
2014.
Yes.
You come from a very beautiful state.
Yes, sir.
India, do you think it is a low carbon economy?
Low carbon economy?
Huh?
No, sir.
Vis-a-vis states, vis-a-vis China.
Vis-a-vis China, we are low carbon economy, sir. Because China, if we see the contribution of China in greenhouse emission, that is the number one, and India, its overall contribution is number two. But if see the per capita contribution in greenhouse, that is we are at quite low place as compared to US and other countries, developed countries.
So with regard to see the carbon emissions in your state, do you find some hotspots or some areas where some action has to be against the climate change has to be taken up? Which are those areas, and on what priority level you have to take them?
So in my regard, in regard to this, I would like to say that congestions in tourist places, that if I'm to name a few, that is like Shimla and Manali, due to traffic congestions, there is a lot of pollution that is causing harm to our ecology. Further, on the other hand, we have taken initiatives like electric vehicles that has been introduced in Kulu, that is going to reduce the burden of the greenhouse gas emission on our ecology, and these are the major areas. On the other hand, industry is also there basically in Baddi areas. The compliance to the environmental norms that has to be strictly adhered to.
You have been playing cricket in your college days.
Yes, sir.
Remember one lesson which you learned from playing cricket?
So I captained my team during my job at Tata Chemicals Limited. From there was a situation that our team was lagging behind the runs, and my team members were feeling demotivated, and I had to motivate them that we have to play to our strengths so that we can come back, and we did come back in that match.
You acted like a Virat Kohli for the...
I would not like to compare myself to Virat Kohli, but yes, at that present, I felt that it's my responsibility as a captain to lead the team, and to provide them the direction that we can do better in that field.
After Virat has joined in cricket as a captain, do you think a lot of things have changed in the cricket scenario? And if yes, what are they? Just name a few.
So after Virat has joined, the major improvement that has been seen in Indian cricket, that is on the level of fitness and the fielding level of Indian cricket team. The fitness level, now they have started also yo-yo test, where the particular numbers of rating is provided to every player. If they are not able to reach that rating, they are not considered fit for selection in the team. That is the major improvement, and it has really helped the Indian team to perform better.
So what are those areas of leadership or traits which you feel they're very prominently displayed by Virat himself?
Yes, sir. So Virat Kohli, yes, sir, his passion for the game is the most notable one that is missing in some other players. That's why they are not able to reach at the level of the Virat Kohli. And another thing, he plays with the aggression, that is a controlled aggression, I would like to say. Right? And that is on the field itself only. That is for the game, not in his personal life. That is, I guess, the passion, and that thing is most important in the game.
See, with Virat comes leadership, and with leadership comes morality. Do you think they are two very closely related areas of your personality?
Yes, sir.
How?
So during leadership, we have to set a path that others should follow that path. and morality is the most important thing. I feel in my view, morality is the most important thing that we have to take any action, because what is morality? It is the means ki how we perceive while taking a decision, what is right and wrong decision, because there is a very thin line in such a situations. In this scenario, so I would like to give an example. Like in case of Australia, there was a wall tampering issue, and that means that the example of the morality issue. The captain Steve Smith, being a captain, he didn't follow the morality and he indulged himself in the ball tampering. And same scenario that has not been done in Indian cricket.
You must have heard about sledging.
Yes, sir.
So what was it a kind of a very negatively proactive, domineering kind of a stance by Australian cricketers?
So Australian cricketers are known for this sledging part, but I feel that little bit of sledging is important in game. It makes the game interesting, but over the line sledging, that is not allowed. That going personal. Sometimes there are incidents that Australians go personal. They during the sledging, they indulge in the physical parts. They go towards the physical sledging. That is not healthy for the cricket.
But if you are subscribing to sledging, will you subscribe to sledging in your personal life also? Do you get tomorrow?
No, sir. That cricket is different, sir. That's a game. That is a part of game, and personal life is different.
But do you think that the morality is also having its kind of relativity aspect or the absolute aspect to it?
Morality is the absolute aspect. That is not reality.
So how come sledging is permissible there?
So sledging. So if what I'm trying to say, sledging in a healthy way. That is to make the game interesting. That is a fun part of sledging. What I am referring to. Not hurting the sentiments of anyone or doing the wrong things. I'm not supporting that thing.
So when you join the services, what is the top priority which you will definitely, yes, I'll do it tomorrow? What's top on your mind?
So with respect to, if I say with respect to my district, that in my district the drug issue is that the main thing that is hampering in our society, because drug issue is hampering the progress of our youth. Youth is the future of our society, and I would like to take to control the drug menace, because at present there was a report that 30% of the youth of Himachal is indulged in drugs, and for that I would like to take action on 3 aspects, that is the enforcement, prevention and creating awareness.
Brajinder,
Yes, sir.
you hail from Kangra.
Yes, sir.
There has been a few economic problems related to Kangra district.
Yes, sir.
Can you suggest me a few solutions? Can you suggest me the problems first and the solutions to it?
So first of all, there is a financing irrigation project that was envisaged in 2012, and it has not been completed till now. There was a basic financial issue that was hampering its progress. And then on the other hand, now Dharamshala has been included as a smart city for making it as a smart city. But due to financial constraints, I guess its progress on the similar way, its progress will be hampered. And for that thing, that to create the revenue generation, I would like to suggest a few initiatives that we can take to create the revenue within our district, rather than we are getting the grants from the center and from the state government itself. But within district, I would like to create the revenue itself. That way can be created from, first of all, the Kangra tea is there. We have a huge scope. It has got the geographical indication tag, but due to senile trees, its growth is limited at present. We can focus on this part also. Second one is the tourism. Like there is a proposal to create a war museum in Nurpur. That if that is created, that will increase the tourism. Further, in Nurpur Fort at present, that is not healthy maintained properly, and the tourism at that point is not up to its mark. We can also develop this, and it will create the revenue for our district.
What is structural inflation?
Structural inflation. Is it not the exact terms as structural? I would not be able to answer at present.
What is inflation?
Is it general rise in the price of the commodities?
Whose responsibility is it to control inflation?
At present, the government has given it this responsibility to RBI.
Is it RBI's sole responsibility?
So now the RBI mandate is to control the general inflation within a band of 4%, that is plus minus 2. And RBI is taking various steps to monetary policy to control it. Like sir, in recent monetary policy review, they have reduced the repo rate. And although they have reduced the repo rate because our inflation was in control, and to progress the growth and to increase the liquidity in market, they have reduced the repo rate. And on the other hand, if inflation is high, they will increase the repo rate.
You just mentioned the controlling of inflation, the inflation targeting, the
Yes, sir.
official term that we use. Do you think by introduction of inflation targeting, monetary policy committee, are we compromising on the autonomy of RBI?
No, sir. RBI is free to take the decisions. Only we have changed the methodology of our growth and monitoring our progress, or we can say the inflation controlling. It's one of the methods that we are now incorporating.
With MPC coming in, RBI is not the sole RBI is not the sole authority to take the decision.
Yes, sir.
So my question is, are we compromising on the autonomy?
No, sir. I would not like to say that. We can say that it is partnership of the government and RBI. We are taking decisions now. Now the decisions will be taken in consonance, because in that the decisions are taken by the majority decision, and equal membership of the government and RBI is there. So I don't think that autonomy will be affected. I would like to say that in this scenario, the better control over RBI and the government on the both sections, we can do the better monitoring of the both parts. They both have to contribute, because solely depending on RBI would not solve the problem. Government has also to take part in that.
Government has also to take part.
Yes.
So you think government should also take part in controlling of the banks and the NPAs, which is the sole responsibility of the RBI as of now?
Yes, sir. I would like to. Since government has to ensure its responsibility also, because it's the government decisions that ultimately affects. RBI has to respond to those decisions. And if government I would like to say, providing the loans, why NPA issue raised? Because loans were provided during our growth phase. That proper analysis of the loans to whom we are giving the loans, that was not done at that time.
So you think government should do it?
No, sir. RBI should do it, but government has to take part, and government has to, during these decisions, if there is a mutual consensus between RBI and government, that would be better.
So despite, you just mentioned that the inflation is under control, despite very controlled inflation, we had a free fall in the rupee. We had a very weak rupee of late. So suggest me some reasons behind it, why the rupee had a free fall recently.
Recently, the rupee basically had a free fall due to the rise in the oil prices, because oil prices in our world trade was increasing. Because of that, the FBIs started withdrawing their money from India, and due to all these reasons, rupees were falling.
Any other reason?
Basically, these two reasons I can.
Oil prices have again come back to normal. They have again corrected, but the rupee has not recovered as much as we should have expected it to. So there must be another reason, or a set of reasons.
Yes, sir. One I can recall at this present time, that was the American US Treasury has reduced its interest rate, and because of that, the FPIs withdraw their money from India. That was another reason.
Can you tell me the difference between an NBFC and a bank? A
Yes,
non-banking financial company and a bank?
The NBFCs cannot they are not part of the payment and settlement system. And banks are.
Are they regulated?
NBFCs are regulated by, I guess, SBI regulates NBFCs.
You mean to say SEBI?
Yes, sir. SEBI.
Vijay, in upcoming event, there is a very significant global investor meet will be held in Kangra district.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you think? What will be the implication or benefits of it for Himachal state?
Ma'am, in the upcoming global meet that is scheduled at Dharamshala, the basic focus areas will be on tourism, rural development, then industry, that basically pharmaceutical industry, handloom and horticulture industry. And all these has a huge scope in Himachal. And during these global summits, we can project our strengths to the business people, that we are already, Himachal is a law and order state. law and order condition is good in Himachal Pradesh, and other various strengths Himachal has. And we can also project our various policies that are business friendly policies to the global business persons.
Now, Brijinder, you have, this is your fourth kind of a job attempt, isn't it?
Yes,
You had 3 jobs earlier. So why those jobs, first 2 jobs were your field related BTech. Then you shifted to food supply department, food inspector also. First, why was that change into totally different area?
So actually the passion for services was there in me. Due to financial constraints, I had to join the job earlier. And once that was done, when the field was covered, I started preparing for the civil services. And during private job, we did not get the enough time to prepare for the civil services. That's I joined the food civil supplies department, and further I thought that it will help me to connect myself to the field level and the ground level realities, what is happening in our ground level, and it will further help me in preparation my studies.
It means the first 2 jobs, that was with this Tarsan and Tata, they didn't satisfy you at all?
No sir, that was also satisfying job that gave me a lot of experience.
Experience in which field?
Experience in sir, like in Larsen & Toubro, I was a planning manager.
Mm-hmm.
And as a planning manager, we have to manage our limited resources to complete the work within the deadlines.
Okay.
That was a really knowledgeable experience that can be implemented in any field.
Like in this field,
Yes.
in civil service, how will you
Sir,
use that kind of experience?
Like I have already said that in Kannada district there is a project that is in most of the projects there is a shortfall. They are not being able to complete the projects within the deadlines, and in similar cases resources are very limited in our civil administration, and we have lot of priority areas, and prioritizing those areas and allocating the resources where they needed and efficiently utilizing them, I thought that these skills will be needed, and I can.
Do you think you did justice to the jobs that you were doing earlier because your mind and inclination towards the civil services?
So I guess the approach should be the learning approach. If we are working anywhere and we are thinking that we are going to learn something from here, then we will be able to justify.
Was there any incident or any episode where you were pointed out because you were not paying enough attention to the job at hand, rather thinking of going out of this place? Was it apparent to your bosses that you were not keen to continue here? You were permanent.
Actually, in my job, I got the top ranking rating every time. Whether it's in Tata or in L&T.
Still your heart was not in that.
Passion for services was always there, sir.
And when did it start, that passion for services?
It started during the college time.
While you were doing your BTech?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How did it start?
So I had an uncle, and she's now no more.
Okay.
And he inspired me to go for services. He was basically in political field. He had interactions with the various civil administration, and he continuously motivated me to join the services. And from that, my interest started.
Okay, you come into civil services. What do you think are the challenges which are facing you?
As a civil servant. So, in particular, sir, Himachal district, I have to say, or?
No, Himachal, your state, take your state.
Okay. In Himachal, sir, as a civil servant, the major challenge at present is the promotion of the tourism and creating a brand for tourism for the Himachal state. And then another issue is the ecology, because the climate change is the reality, and Himachal being a state in Himalayan regions, that will be mostly affected by it. And then to work on that ecology part. The third one is the basic amenities that people need. So I would like to list that amenities, what basic needs that people have, and they have not been fulfilled at present. We have to prepare that agenda also.
How would you do that? Because fund constraint is going to remain ever.
Yes, sir.
That is not going to improve. Now, basic amenities, you think in Indian context can be provided to the populace?
So basic amenities, I would like to say in this regard, that creating employment in the district. Because if we empower people, they will take care of their basic
In which
amenities.
sector can you generate employment in Himachal Pradesh?
So there are basically 3 sectors I would like to name here. That first of all is handy-loom sector. That is, Himachal people are quite trained in that. Second one is the tourism, because tourism creates a lot of employment opportunities. And third one is the agriculture. In agriculture, we have to remove the disguised employment and further enhance the productivity.
is there any drastic changes that are required to be, put in place in tourism sector? Because despite so much of potential, it hasn't been able to come up to its level.
Yes, sir.
After this Himachal has a lot of potential.
Yes, sir.
Are there anything which can drastically need to be changed? It
Sir,
can be done.
Yes, sir. So at present scenario, what is happening? There are 4 or 5 places which are preferred by the tourists. So the major rush of the tourists is in that places. While in Himachal there are many virgin places and many beautiful places that
What
can
would
be.
you do?
So in that area, connectivity is the major part. That we have to first of all connect those places with the main highways. So and second part is the promotion and branding of that places.
Being a hilly state, the connectivity by road is the only means.
Yes,
So that is going to remain in a poor shape given the scenario, because the floods damage the roads and everything. So is there any other way it can be done? The connectivity could be improved.
So like there are major hill stations, there are major tourist places like Shimla. We can develop the satellite towns that are around that Shimla place. Through ropeways we can do the connectivity.
Okay, now you are married.
Yes, sir.
And your wife is doing a business.
Yes, sir.
What kind of business does she do?
So she has started a venture. In it, basically you must have heard with the name of the Gora Creations. In that, what they do, they provide the deities and dresses of the deities through online.
Okay. The deities of Himachal.
So basically they are in the deities of the Radha Krishna and the various Radha Krishna's different avatars, I can say, like Narsingh Dev is there, Radha Krishna is there, Laddu Gopal is there, dresses and jewelry and complete makeup from top to bottom that they are doing.
She is doing it from home?
Yes, sir, through online medium. And she has a partner and he did all, they have, sir, in this regard I would like to say they have arranged a contractor in Vrindavan.
Okay.
There are 2 or 3 contractors, karigars are there and they are doing the stitching and all that stuff. Designing part is done by her.
Okay, and you staying or residing in a joint family?
Sir, at present I am living with my wife because my job is in Jalandhar.
Your wife is with you in Jalandhar?
Yes, sir.
And she is doing this business from there only?
Yes, sir.
How is she managing it with your time being devoted to studies and all? Don't you think you should be supporting her in some manner, or do you do it?
Sir, I do it.
How?
So I do it in the managing part. Like they have to keep the stock. I have prepared a file in Excel sheet that how they should maintain a stock of different items and what is the stock at present, what is the inventory that is there and what should be the demand. I am preparing that thing for her.
You think women should be given that kind of freedom to do what they want?
Yes, sir.
Or there should be some kind of a check with reference to that they will look after the household chores also?
So I think in this scenario, women should be given the full freedom to whatever they want to do.
Even if they have to sacrifice the home front?
So women are, so in my point of view, women are quite intelligent enough to manage both parts.
So, and in that you have to support them in some manner as far as the home front is concerned?
So they need our support at times.
And do you do it?
Yes, sir, sure I do.
How do you do it? You're managing her, Excel sheet and all as far as business is concerned. How are you contributing to the home chores?
So like she has to visit Chandigarh frequently because they have made their, I would like to say, center point at Chandigarh because her partner is from Chandigarh and she frequently has to visit her here. So from sometimes there are from parents' end there are some preoccupations that why she is visiting so many times there and there. You have to support at that time, sir.
Which is your favorite cricket team apart from India? Cricket team in the world?
Apart from India, New Zealand.
Why so?
So they play their game with ethics.
Ethics, okay. At present, you see West Indies is not doing that?
West Indies is also doing this. West Indies, but they have a history of doing it. New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Yes.
New Zealand. And who was the best player that New Zealand had produced as far as the cricket is concerned?
I would like to name Sir Daniel Vettori.
Why?
Because he's the kind of person and his spin bowling was, from my perspective, he was a kind of all-rounder that everyone looks up to.
Looks up to. He was a off-spin bowler.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
बाकी तो बता ही देंगे.
Any specific feedbacks?
Yes, I would just like to, pick it up from here. You said West Indies are doing it. उनका भी एक player has been booked into the
Match week.
sledging row. Joseph, he has been suspended for 5 tests. He had picked up a fight with Joe Root regarding some personal comments.
Pollard sir.
जो अभी की टीम
अभी चल रही जो
इंग्लैंड
series,
का जो
अभी
टूर
खत्म
है
हो गई.
वेस्ट इंडीज का
इंग्लैंड के साथ
वो
series
बहुत
चल
ही उसने एक पर्सनल समथिंग रिलेटेड टू हिज सेक्सुअलिटी ही हैज कमेंटेड. इट्स वेरी रीसेंट डेवलपमेंट अबाउट 4-5 days back in the third test.
You can always consider it.
You can consider it.
Yes.
And then I found it that you are a little too compliant. Sir said that Dennis Vittori is a right arm off spin bowler, is an off spin bowler. No, he's not. He's a left arm. He's a left arm bowler.
लेफ्ट आर्म ऑर्थोडॉक्स.
So
थोड़ा सा डिलीवरीज फास्ट लगी और उसमें ना 1-2 सेंटेंसेस आप खा जाते हो, मतलब छोड़ के आगे चले जाते हो. थोड़ा सा जस्ट
Maybe you
casual
think
approach.
much faster than you
हाँ, yeah.
so probably
Sometimes
that's
so
coordination.
finish all your sentences.
Okay.
जब आप you were talking of Virat Kohli, there was a coach of Indian kabaddi team. She was removed by the management. Iran picked up that lady.
Yes.
Iran made coach. And in Asiad final, Iran defeated for the first time.
India.
For the first time. And then she was interviewed. She said, I put this team into yoga and meditation. That was her. Mentally, I made them very strong.
See, your meditation can help him also to slow down. I mean, you are very fast. Good.
This you can,
But meditation
Impress
will
from.
cease. You are little at times you digress, deviate, digress, and cut short your own sentences, and immediately come up with a new version. And you have used the word GI tag. GI tag is what?
Thank you.
Geographical indication.
Geographic indication. It was not. I mean, the second part was not audible at all.
Okay.
So whenever there is a term used it in a very subtle manner. Don't run away and rush away on that. That's it.
Otherwise, content was
Good confidence. Looking very smart.
so with your job, how many hours you are able to study?
I had to plan that thing, sir. So in our job, sir, it's basically a field job.
I know.
So
Very
इसमें
field
सर
job.
टाइम जैसे मीन्स कि मेरा जलंधर में ही जॉब है सर अभी, तो इवनिंग में टाइम निकल जाता है, मॉर्निंग में टाइम निकल जाता है, समटाइम्स आफ्टरनून में भी जॉब के ड्यूरिंग वीक.
You have the capability, you are intelligent enough to get it. You will
थैंक यू सर.
concentrate more.
थैंक यू.